Any Igbo man waiting for redemption under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is wasting time, said Uwazurike. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in and listening to this headline before you this morning. As the headline for today says that any Igbo man waiting for redemption under Tinubu is wasting time, said Uwazurike. The former president of the Indigo think tank group Aka Indeka, Chief Godi Uwazurike, is currently the president of a political pressure group. The credibility group, in the interview with Olaolu Oladipo, he talked about the state of the nation, saying the current All Progressive Congress APC-led government in the country has fallen short of expectations experts. It's been a year since the government came into power. What's your approval of this performance of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu? It's been a year since the government came into power. What's your aspira of the performance of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration so far? This government came into office with a lot of bravado. Unfortunately, governance has nothing to do with bravado. The governance is not what I would call palliative governance. This means sitting down, planning based on what you have and what you expect. As you stated, this government is expected to clock 1 year in office next month. A year ago, Mr. President announced with so much gusto that the era of payment of fuel subsidy is gone. When the announcement came, many of us knew that there was a problem, that the nation income per capita is very low. To the intimidate past Muhammadu Buhari-led government has already crippled the economy. So when Tinubu came, people were looking forward to their poor economic burden being removed. Unfortunately, when the new government came, the burden further increased. To me, that was a very big mistake on the part of the new government. The reason is that when you remove the payment of fuel subsidy, it's like removing something with one hand and giving it back with the other hand. Yes, the government has made promises of making things better, but we are still waiting for that to happen. Can you imagine a civil servant earning 30,000 naira minimum from which the former Buhari was recalliant to sign into law? That person will now be buying fuel at the rate of 620 naira. The question now is, will he be able to do that? When the NLC protested, the government promised to look into their demands. They have not done that in a year. That a year after, this government did not plan well. Really, yes. Another thing is that there is nepotistic approach being used in the government. It's like all the top, it's like all the top echelons of government is so much concentrated with a 5 kilometer radius of Lagos. This is uncalled for. We went to the university and we all are citizens of this country. But when you concentrate your appointments in a haphazard manner, then you get haphazard results. Let me give you an example. A state like Ogun State has 3 ministers, while the entire southeast zone just have 5 ministers. Look at the southwest and the northwest zones to see the numbers of ministers appointed that have been allotted for them. You now notice that even the north central zone is also complaining. When the government is doing something in a particular manner, it gets a parochial result. What do you mean by saying the government is becoming parochial? Let me now give you another example. We are going under this foreign currency exchange regime when the exchange rate has become down to 1,000 naira to a dollar, and yet the government is beating the chest that it has achieved some economic feat. The question is, to achieve what? While this is going on, the Nigeria Customs Service has increased the rates. The simple implication of this is that many people just have just simply abandoned their goods at the port because of the prohibitive rates that the custom are charging for clearing them. This is because many Nigerian businessmen are finding it difficult to cope with the new regime that has been introduced by the customs. Also, Also, look at the telecom companies harassing people every day about registration and non-registration. The victim of all these things that have eliminated are the common man. So this is not progress. The government needs to go back to the drawing board and rethink. From the way you have spoken, it seems that you are scoring the government very low. Cut in. I am scoring them 0. Will you now say that the government has not done anything tangible since the coming on board? How do you explain the passage of very expensive SUVs to members on the National Assembly? I emulated the suffering of the people. Look at how much they have spent on buying vehicles for the members of the National Assembly. They bought 2 or 3 SUVs for ministers who have to move from one place to another at the expenses of the tax-paying Nigerians who are bearing the burdens. This is when we have been talking about pulling down the cost governance in the country, and this is a part of the restructuring that we have been having. For a long time ago, interestingly, the president has been part of the campaign. The situation today is that we now have a very bogus cabinet instead of a small one. We have a situation whereby small ministries are being broken into bits. How do you expect such ministries to function? But the government is moving towards pulling down its bureaucracy with the implementation of the Oron report. Even the Oron report, which they said they want to implement, what do you have? They take on one step forward or 2 steps backward. You call, but you talked about the bad economy, which you said is impacting negative on Nigerians. The president has been giving assurance that things will do better soon. Don't you think we should give him the benefit of the doubt? Nobody forced Mr. President to contest the office he occupied now rather than he offered himself to Nigerians to lead them. He campaigned, he went round the nooks and crannies of the countries to solicit for votes of Nigerians. He went to 4 zones and he did not deem it fit to campaign in the southeast and south. Even though Mr. President did not tell us his plans for the country, he avoided all the debates that other contestants participated in. Rather than attending the debates, he unleashed his media officers on us. These officials talked down on us. Nobody forced him on us. But why is it now telling us that he is planning for the development of the country? He promised to hit the ground running when he was elected. The question is that if he has promised that, then what is going on? The thing is that the days you offer yourself, you should know what you want to do in office. You can't say that you are coming into government and after getting into office, you will now begin to plan. Well, this is not all, but what we can say under this headline, which states that any Igbo man waiting for redemption under Tinubu's is wasting time, said by Uwazurike. All this we read today was said by this young man named Uwazurike. He's saying he's saying all the faults and all the actions that and all the little progress that the president has done. Like he said that the currency we have today, like now the government are giving themselves an achievement for bringing down the price of the dollar to 1,000 naira. And he's saying that do you really think that this is an achievement? You guys should go back to the drawing board. The dollar when we Nigerians were complaining things were worse and things were bad, the dollar was 400 naira, 350 naira by that time, and now we are seeing the dollar. It went up to almost at 2,000 naira, and now the government has brought it down to 1,000 naira. And then now they're saying it is an achievement. It is not an achievement. It is just a little progress you guys made in achieving that achievement you were thinking about. He said a lot of things concerning the government.